Hello everybody, my name is Lakin. I am a author, a full-time student, but most importantly, I'm a YouTuber, and today I'm here to kick off a brand new series. Welcome to I read slash watched slash enjoyed, hopefully, all of insert series here. Today, it's Orb on the Movement of the Earth, but this is a series that comes in a lot of names. In Japan, it's called Chi. Here, it's called Orb. I, first of all, had a very, very difficult time finding this manga. I want to emphasize that you're not going to be able to buy this in any of the places you might usually buy your more popular manga in the West. For example, I know a lot of people get their manga from Chapters. It's not going to be there, all right? That's not to say that I buy manga in the first place, though. I had to come across this in a somewhat illegal manner. And even then I had a hard time finding it, mainly because of this naming issue. So I just want to put this out to you and say, if you want to find this manga, just search up the author of it instead. It'll make it a lot easier for you. That's how I found it. Because every place you go to kind of has it cataloged under a different name. But I digress. Now, before we get into this one and I tell you about my whole journey with Orb, make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, all of that good stuff. I first came across Orb. One of my friends told me that it was her favorite manga. I'd never heard of it. I was like, okay, I'm intrigued. And she also told me that there was an anime adaptation coming up. I didn't actually end up getting to reading the manga until the anime adaptation came out. And when it did come out, I didn't watch it, believe it or not. What I did do, I call myself a bit of a connoisseur of openings, alright? I checked out the opening. I wasn't under the impression that this was a high quality production by any means, but I watched the opening and I was like, wait, is this opening of the year? So I skipped straight to reading the manga because I knew there were only like 3 episodes, and I read the entire thing in 2 days. Now, I would say a lot of people compare this to Vinland Saga, and rightfully so. I mean, it's the same genre, but at its core, comparing this to Vinland Saga almost feels like a crime, and I would say that Orb is actually a lot stronger thematically than Vinland Saga is, and the way Vinland Saga is going right now, kind of subpar in my opinion. It seems like Vinland Saga is probably going to have a much weaker finale than Orb did. Orb is already completed. So I read through this whole thing in 2 days, and by the way, I'm hoping in the editing process you're not just going to be staring at me talking the whole time. That would be pretty boring. I'll put some things up, illustrate my reading process here, but I went through all of it. And now, before I get into the nitty-gritty of it, I do want to give you a warning for those of you who have not read Orb or watched it yet. Feel free to get the hell out of here right now, because next I am about to spoil literally the entire series, all of it. So if you haven't read it yet, go do yourself a favor and do it. Alright, now let's talk about Orb from the beginning. Now, we all know how it starts. You have a fake out main character. He ends up getting executed. I would say really the main character of this story is Novak, who is a church inquisitor who is tracking down all these people that are researching and developing heliocentrism. This book it's really reinforcing the theme of these unnamed players that are in the background throughout all of history, basically all of these people that led up to all these great discoveries. It's something we tend to do in history is we attribute these massive things to one person, and we fail to take into account all of the things that happen in order to lead up to that point. And you know what? Copernicus's discoveries and the things he published are one of those things, and Orb represents something that could have been a real story, but we'd never know. We would never know, because the only people we name are the people who make the final discovery. Those are the people who are known to history. Those are the important people to us. And Orb is a story about the people that aren't important, and it's really, really powerful. Literally all the main characters in the entire book die for the cause, and at the end it all means basically nothing, but the only thing that survives is a single letter, something that's pretty insignificant, and that ends up being the thing that brings heliocentrism to the masses. And it's really a story about futility, and I mean, it's a story about a lot of things. It's a story about the church. I mean, it feels really, really anti-church in nature, which, if you look back on those times, it's kind of hard not to be anti-church. And it's really a story about passing on will through the generations. People who don't know each other but are wheeled into this and keep going just for the sake of humankind. And really, personally, I think that is a much more powerful theme than Vinland Saga. It's a mightier theme. It's a theme that resonates in the hearts of anyone, regardless of who you are. What I want to say about Orb is that this is probably easily in my top 10 manga. The opening for the anime is also a banger, and I'm eagerly waiting for that release on Spotify. The anime so far has also had a really good adaptation. They're going to be adapting, as far as I can tell, and judging by the spoilers that are in the opening, they're going to be adapting the entire series in the next 25 episodes. There's going to be 2 cours, so they're going to adapt the whole thing. It's going to be great. This is undoubtedly going to be a sleeper, which is unfortunate. I can't even find much discussion about this anime in places you normally would find discussion. Like, I've gone on Reddit. I've tried to look for people like talking about it, interpretations about the ending and all that, but I really just can't find the discussion, so I figured I would bring it here. So I read all of Orb. Honestly, the review is a straight up 10 out of 10. I mean, what the hell else is there to say about it? This is an absolutely brilliant manga. I hear it's very popular in Japan, and I am honestly ashamed it's not popular here. This story really, really resonated with me, and it's just one of those things where you finish it and you're motivated. You know what I'm saying? You ever finish a story and it just makes you go like I gotta do better, you know? It's one of those. Orb is a 10 out of 10 manga, and if you've watched this whole thing and you for some reason have not read this yet, go do it. And of course, if you don't follow me, once again, my name's Lakin. I'm an author. I write a book called Mage Killer. Oh no, I guess it's going to be renamed soon, but I digress. Publishes every Saturday. Basically, I'm an author. I'm here to talk about movies, books, and give you guys writing advice as well, which isn't on the channel yet, but it will be. So if you're interested in all that, hit that subscribe button and read Orb. What the hell else is there to say about it, man? It's great. And next we're going to be doing Ranking of Kings, which I'm almost done reading and is another absolutely brilliant manga, albeit definitely not as good as Orb was so far, but a little sneak peek on the review. It is at least a 9 out of 10. We'll see. Either way, tune into it. Love you all. See you next time.